how the existence of core competencies as a reference point in coaching impacts what we do. So looking at it, I think both from an experiential point of view and maybe even a systemic point of view. I'm thinking, so if we could add to or fine-tune the core competencies, or maybe not even fine-tune, maybe the opposite of that, like make them even more murky, how would we do that so that it fits people's regular practice? So I guess there are many different dimensions to how people practice in ways that are not conventional according to the core competencies. And I'm just wondering, how could we, or would it even be possible to have a set of competencies which is inclusive of that diverse set of practices?
So my philosophy of coaching is A, B, and C. And I then use the competency framework to make that come alive. And I think that's far more enabling of that contact before contract, meeting the client where they're at, having transformational experiences rather than transactional coaching.
Perhaps the current definition or the even the connotations coming from competence and skill is restrictive. So I think there's other stuff that happens that maybe isn't an observable behavior.
You spoke about skill and competence, and that started to feel when you were positioning it that it felt quite two-dimensional. Yeah, when you were struggling with that looking through the keyhole. So it's like it becomes two-dimensional, and it's like, but how are you going to see the nuance? How do you evaluate the nuance? How do you get to give the person kudos or say, yes, you deserve to have, level 2 credentialing now because of this. So like imagine all the competencies lying down and each one is a keyhole. And you're trying to look through them at a recording that's sitting across it. And that seems unfair to the nuance that's actually happening above here, as opposed to if you look from the top and say, oh, I see you doing that, and I see it linking to this, this, and this.
Assessment and the word holistic seem to exist in different paradigms, but there's some tension there.
They're like an oil and water.
For lack of a better word, hierarchy of philosophy, values, and competence that you spoke about earlier. These are different dimensions of practice. Philosophy being one, values being another, competence being another. And does style fit into one of those, or is it a separate dimension